Now in situations like this where you've got a dramatic sky, it presents a whole new aspect to your frame. I've gone for a shot here which is actually quite dramatic. As we've been filming this little sequence, a kind of story's evolving, if you like. I just see this lonely girl walking on her own, sat on this bench. We don't know what's going on with her, but she's spending some alone time. And I think this shot here, this frame, is very isolating. And I just love how it looks. We've got this dramatic sky. She's bang in the middle of the frame. Rule of thirds are still applying, although I'm slightly more favouring a centre framing because I've gone for a very graphical look to this particular frame. And again, her yellow jumper against this greyness really works to separate her out from the background. I think the next shot I really want to do is just something that reveals a bit more of her. So let's do that now. Something we haven't really touched on yet is this notion of creating a sequence, which is a whole other section. But what I will say here, wide and detail will get you out of most holes when it comes to editing. In this situation, we've done a number of shots with Isabel walking through frame. We've been demonstrating dirty frames, stacking. Never forget to get the detail. And we're here on the 55, f2.8. We're just getting a very shallow depth of field shot of her hair. And what that will allow us to do in the edit is cut from any other shot to the next angle, which we're going to shoot around from the front of Isabel. What I've done in this shot is just a direct profile shot of Isabel, still applying the rule of thirds. Her face is hitting 1/3 of the frame and there's almost 2/3 looking room. And as we build this sequence, this kind of came from nowhere. We started demonstrating stacking in a graphic sense. And as I shot, I guess it's just experience, I've ended up building a sequence around Isabel sitting on the bench. And this is how straightforward it can be by just using these different techniques in an environment where we have no story. It's just sort of evolved in front of us. You know, having great talent and a great location, using these techniques will get you and yield you some really terrific shots. Now what I'm doing here is creating a very Wes Anderson style shot which match frames the rear wide shot, and we've cut 180 degrees to just have Isabel staring into camera. And this is what's really important about working with talent, is that if you were to just come down here and film B-roll, you'd get B-roll of the objects, of the fence, of the posts. But when you get great talent in front of camera, it transforms your filmmaking. So really, if you're going to think about getting out and practicing this stuff, get some talent and learn to direct and to work with them, because it can really, really improve your approach and your skills, and most importantly, your confidence when shooting sequences and composing. And so the final shot we're going to do here is a POV, a point of view shot of our character. And rather than just shoot what she's actually looking at, which may not be relevant, I've just picked this boat. I'm using stacking again. I'm using the fence to cut through frame graphically, out of focus, shooting at f2.8. The boat is bobbing around. We've got the background and the sky looks pretty dramatic as well. That will give us something to cut to. So we're kind of telling the audience what it is our character is looking at. Here's an example of how that short scene might cut together.